Next day, I was aware of how beautiful the RV place was. They had all sorts of sculptures. I was impressed by the flags at the London Bridge, and I thought I'd have my own patriotic celebration. I made steak and eggs. I had the tablecloth, the napkins, even the plates that were patriotic. I decided, I have to say a prayer before I eat, especially such a wonderful repast as this. I'm so blessed to live in such a beautiful place as this. Yummy. I just love steak and eggs, especially with my protein shake. Here we are in Sedona, Arizona, and it's a beautiful red rock area with some beautiful forests right at the foothills of the rock. So it's quite dramatic because you get the green forests and the red rock. And there's some famous mountains here, the Sphinx, the Coffee Pot Rock, which looks like a coffee pot. In fact, I'll have to go there with my little pot that I had coming out of the house and take it there to see the similarity and how it looks. These are vortexes, and a vortex can be picked up on the iPhone when the iPhone's in the compass mode. And you can see here, sometimes they have an electrical impulse or a magnetic impulse that causes the compass to spin on the iPhone. So we're going to visit some of these famous parts of Sedona. The first part we'll probably go to today is the Sedona Airport, because they have not only 3 vortexes there, but from here it's possible to paint in a panorama in all directions. And you can see Cathedral Rock and Castle Rock and Bell Rock. Bell Rock, by the way, has also a vortex, as does this part of Castle Rock. Then we'll go down here to the Frank Lloyd Wright Church, which has its own vortex, and that's worth seeing because it's a very interesting modern type of structure. We'll also go to Bell Rock, and that has a vortex. And in some of these areas, Sedona is famous for using crystals and magnetic crystals, and people often put their crystals out in certain areas to energize them. And I'll be bringing some crystals as well as part of my visionary process. I do active meditation every day, and so the crystals are going to help me with visualizing some fantastic visions that will assist me in doing my art. So we're going to really enjoy Sedona because it has a whole lot to offer, from these vortexes to the crystals to the food and the restaurants, and then of course the art galleries we'll visit. Then later in the week we'll probably visit Jerome, which is an old 1800 town that was a ghost town that's now been rebuilt and has a lot of interesting structures that are worth painting. So I may be even doing some paintings of some of the structures in Jerome. So this pretty much lays out our plans for the week here in Sedona. We're looking forward to a week full of active visual effects, beautiful red rocks, green mountains, crystals, meditation, food, and galleries. It should be just fabulous. I was walking around looking for the perfect areas to paint. There were so many possibilities, almost in 360 degrees. Then I saw the Forest Service sign. I wanted to correlate my map with the vortexes with the Forest Service sign. The Forest Service sign didn't show any vortexes, so I had to align them by name on my map versus their map. Oh well, they didn't quite correlate, but I found my way to the vortex near the airport with a beautiful panoramic view in 360 degrees. There were all sorts of people here, shamans practicing aura balancing, Hasidic Jews. It was just a fascinating crossroads of the world, all on this vista. I walked around looking for areas that I wanted to paint. I was very lucky because almost every part of Sedona has things to paint. And this really truly is the Sedona view. You can see every direction from this vortex near the airport. This was the first of many vortexes that I'd visit. You'll get to see me at a lot of other places, and it's going to be dazzling. One thing about plein air painting is I'm really constantly reminded of the place of God in the universe and how beautiful everything really truly is. Unfortunately, I had a meeting with the Buenaventura Art Association where I'm treasurer. So I'd submitted a budget, and while I was doing this painting, I was also on the phone in a conference call with the executive committee, and we were trying to go over the budget for the new year. Hopefully, Buenaventura will turn around and become the successful place it's meant to be. I put on my acrylic underpainting, and you can tell from the brush that it's a little stiff from prior acrylic applications. I like to use that gold because it's sort of bumpy and adds a lot of texture. But I use other colors too, including that sepia color to add darkness to areas. I also put in the blue for the sky and, of course, the oranges and yellows. There was a time when I just used 2 colors for my studies and value studies. But as time went on, I started adding more and more colors and more brushes. And I started mixing the colors too. So I'd add a little yellow in this pink to add a trail at the bottom. It's all a little bit messy at first, but as I begin to add the oils later on, it provides a certain uniformity, and I like the wildness of the acrylic layers because it's fully expressive and it also is 3-dimensional. Acrylic builds up much thicker than oil, and this sometimes allows me to get a texture that I can't with oil alone, but it's still ultimately just a value study, along with a necessity to dry the acrylic before I can go on to do the oils. I'm quite undecided about whether I want a really dark sky or if I want to show some of the clouds that are here today. Sometimes orange and red rocks appear much more compelling if there's a dark blue sky. But other times I want a more realistic look. So I play with it to see what's best in any given situation. This painting obviously needed some work done in my studio later on, but I worked on it, and eventually it started to come together, though it takes many hours to do a painting here on location. And I use a lot of purple to provide shadows in these mountains. It's really the balance between the dynamism of the light and the shadow that makes a painting interesting. I just loved the clouds and the atmosphere. It was really an exciting day. I was sort of sad to have my painting done, but yet on the other hand, I was also happy. Hi, I hope you liked my video, and I hope you'll come visit me on markhafman.com. We have lots of exciting content, including my other paintings, watercolors, oils, and there's some gift certificates that you might like, as well as Every so often I give away a painting. Hope to see you. markhafeman.com. 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 See you there.